All right, traders, we have breaking news that I wanted to share with you. We are going to be discussing a potential buyout opportunity, and if WWE does end up getting bought out, this will likely increase the stock price. So this is what I wanted to cover. In terms of WWE, they are nearing a deal to be sold to the UFC parent company Endeavor. That's what the sources are saying. Now, WWE is in advanced talks to be sold to Endeavor's Group, which is the parent company of the UFC. The deal would combine the UFC and the WWE into one publicly traded company. WWE has spent the past several months looking for a buyer, and it's likely going to be these guys. This deal, I strongly believe, is going to happen because I'm connecting the dots, and this is what nobody else is really talking about on social media. What I'm going to show with you right now, right, is this. This is what I've found. So in terms of Prime, why does this matter? UFC recently partnered with Prime, and they are now the official sports drink of the UFC. And in terms of what has recently happened, with WrestleMania, Logan Paul and KSI did like this big advertisement for Prime during WWE. So it just makes sense in a sense, right? If you're just connecting the dots together. Prime is now the official sports drink of UFC. And then what is, Prime doing? What is Logan Paul doing, right? In the WWE, he's promoting his sports drink that is officially sponsored by UFC in WrestleMania, in the WWE, right? So those are just some connections that I've put together. Again, nothing special, but I don't see anybody else talking about it, and I did want to bring awareness to it because if you look at how this situation has been moving, it makes sense, and it's been happening very, very fast, right? So WWE has been looking for a buyer for several months. UFC has been moving fast. Prime is now the official sports drink of UFC. WWE is in, Logan Paul is in WWE. And then in terms of WrestleMania yesterday, he's advertising Prime, which is the official sports drink of UFC. So in terms of putting all the dots together, it just makes sense that this deal is actually going to happen. I don't really see anybody else talking about it in that sense. So I wanted to share with you my point of view and my perspective on this play. If the deal does end up going through, it will likely increase the stock price and it would give WWE a valuation of over $9.3 billion. So with that being said, now let's discuss the technicals and the price action, right? So they are saying this deal, it could be announced on Monday. It's expected to be. Obviously, that could change, but that's what people are saying. So in terms of what we're looking at here, this is the downside. The downside to this situation is the stock is extremely high. It's at all-time highs. The stock is nearly sitting at all-time highs. Absolutely insane, man. In terms of the overall chart is bullish. This is a monthly chart of WWE. As you can see, you have this bearish trend reversal pin here. You have this bearish trend reversal pin right here. What happens? It starts to explode up. What happens? It starts to explode up. Overall, based off the monthly chart, it is going to try to attempt to push higher within time. What I dislike about this is it's high, it's at all-time highs, and there is a gap to fill below. We have multiple gaps to fill below. We got a gap to fill below right here at $72. This would be the absolute best price to be buying WWE. But that's what I dislike about this whole situation in a sense, right? So I just wanted to walk through the overall chart of WWE and just kind of show you guys in terms of what can potentially happen. But what the Bulls would need to do is they would need to maintain above this $90 level. They need to stay above 90, turn that into a support. If so, they will push for new all-time highs. If not, then it will start to drop back towards this $86 range, right? That's my overall price action analysis. In terms of WWE, I will be watching it heading into this week. I want to see how it responds to this $91 level. 91 is make or break resistance. Breaks out, reacts to support, forms a floor, then it's bullish. Breaks down, reacts as a resistance. Then it drops to about $86, and we will see how it reacts at $86. That's the previous resistance level. Once tested, they will likely try to bounce and spike this at $86. Those are my overviews. Those are my overall thoughts. I just find it very interesting on how this is aligning up in terms of WWE. So I will be keeping an eye on it for shares and for opportunity. Another thing that I found very, very interesting as well is if we look at the option chain, the spreads are very wide. It's not ideal to be trading options on this. And if you look at it, there's not a lot of volume. This doesn't have a lot of volume. But if you look at the open interest right now, there is a lot of open interest on the call side, as you can see right here, the open interest. And if you look at the volume, this is what I found interesting personally. If you look at the volume, there is not a lot of volume on this. You could see right here, there's a lot of volume right here. Well, not a lot, but there's some volume here on the call side. And then there is a decent amount of volume here on the put side right here at this $85 strike. But if you look right here in terms of May 19th, this is what caught my attention. If you look at the further dated expirations on the contracts, and if you look at the leaps, there's very little volume. You have very little volume. There's practically no volume on the put side. There's literally no volume on the put side in terms of the further dated options. But if you take a look at May 19th, you have 4,000 volume on 85 strike and 4,000 volume on 95 strike, which is very, very interesting, man, because that's some unusual volume. And for it to have that amount of volume, something has to be up, man. Someone has to know something, or someone has to be seeing something. So I'm going to keep my eye on it for a potential share buy. Just something I'm watching, though. This would be, if I do anything, a lotto trade in a sense, nothing special, simply because it's just extremely high. The price on this stock is extremely high. If the news goes through and the deal goes through, it will likely push higher. Doesn't mean it's going to be guaranteed to push higher, but stocks tend to spike after they get bought out. What I dislike about this play is, the main thing that I dislike is there's a gap to fill below and it's overbought and it's at all-time high resistance, right? In terms of the stock, though, it's been pushing, man. It's been pushing for new all-time highs overall. So that's what I like. That's what I dislike. Not interested in shorting. Just something that me personally, I'm going to be keeping an eye on. And the next video will be our SPY price action analysis. If you guys enjoyed this video and learned a lot, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I will see you in the next video.